And we're going to come to a child's pose to begin. So you can take a closed knee child's pose or spread your knees out nice and wide, and then melt your chest down in between your thighs, reaching your arms out nice and long. Rest your forehead down on the mat. And start to take some long, slow breaths in and out through your nose. Taking a few moments to become grounded, become present. Developing a steady body creates steadiness not only in your physical body, but it will create steadiness in your mind, in your energy. We must build strong roots, a strong foundation, trusting in ourselves, building confidence, practicing to be steady on our mat will allow us to carry that off of the mat and into our lives. So the theme for today's class is all about steadiness. Maybe finding some dynamic movement, but even in through that, finding the stillness, finding the unwavering. Let's take one large inhale together. Fill up your lungs nice and full. Hold that breath at the top. And then open the mouth and release the breath. On your next inhale, slowly begin to lift your chest. We're going to come all the way up into our tabletop. Let's just begin with some intuitive movements here. So maybe you'd like to take some small shoulder circles. Maybe it just needs to be totally free form. Just begin to wiggle your body. This also kind of taps into finding your own body awareness, right? Because what feels crunchy for me because of my mattress might not feel crunchy for you. What challenges me might be super easy for you. So just be in your own body and whatever every day in your practice, because that's the only one that matters is your body. And we'll come to a neutral tabletop. On your next inhale, drop the belly, press into the palms, lift your gaze, come into your cow. Let's hold this here for a couple breaths. So really trying to sink the tummy down, drawing the shoulder blades down your back. And on your next exhale, press into the palms, round the spine, shoulder blades apart, gaze back at your thighs, press down into the mat and hold 2 breaths here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, come into your cow. And exhale, round the spine, come into that angry cat. Really try and spread those shoulder blades apart. Let's do 3 more, just moving with your own breath. Find your rhythm. Vinyasa yoga literally means breath to movement. So being conscious of your inhale and exhale, linking your movement with the breath. And come back to your neutral tabletop. We're going to do side to side cat and cow. So these are kind of like these barrel rolls. So what I want you to do is shift your weight slightly to the right, begin to round your spine, shift your weight over towards the left, and then drop the belly down left to right. Inhaling through your cat. So it's kind of like a side to side cat and cow. A little bit different. Let's do one more, going the right to the left. and then reverse. So inhale, bringing your left shoulder up, switch it over towards the right. Exhale, drop the belly, shift your weight over towards the left. Drawing these big circles, 2 more. Great job. Shift your weight into your right hand, sweep your left hand across your chest, reach up towards the sky. And then exhale, thread your needle, shoot that left hand over towards the right, drop your left shoulder down, left side of the face comes down to the mat. Sweep your right hand back behind you, clasp your fingers on the inner part of that left thigh if you want, taking the bind. And we'll be here for 3 breaths. Find your steadiness, allowing your body to open, using the earth to ground you here in your practice, grounding your thoughts. With your next inhale, release the bind, place your right palm onto your mat, lift your chest, come back to your neutral tabletop, shift your weight into your left hand, sweep your right hand across your chest, reach it up, open that right shoulder, and exhale, thread your needle, right hand goes over towards the left, drop the right shoulder down, gently press into that left palm, or sweep it back behind you, clasping the fingers on the inner part of your right thigh. 3 breaths here. And slowly release, pressing your left palm into the mat, lift your chest, come back to your neutral tabletop. Let's gently walk our hands out, maybe to the top of the mat, and then dropping your chest down, maybe your chin or your forehead, opening the inner or the front part of those shoulders. So coming into our puppy pose, just being mindful here. This pose is probably one of my crunchiest. This and camel. So just breathe. Find that steadiness in your mind. Knowing that holding these poses, towing that line of the uncomfortable is what makes us a little bit stronger, is what allows us to open. On your next inhale, try and press into your palms and walk those hands back underneath your shoulders. Let's tuck our toes and then send the hips up and back, coming into our first downward facing dog. So just take a moment here, warming everything up nice and properly. So feel free to take your dog for a walk, pedaling out the feet. Maybe you'd like to twist your torso, peeking under your shoulders, whatever feels good in your body. And then begin to settle in, finding a little bit of stillness in your down dog, pressing into those palms, drawing the shoulder blades down your back. You have to bend your knees to elongate the low spine as your hamstrings warm up. Please do that. Your head hang heavy. Take a deep inhale through the nose, fill up your lungs nice and full. And then let the breath out. And your next inhale, slowly shift your gaze up in between your hands. This first one, let's just walk our feet nice and slow up to the top of the mat. Hang your body heavy. Stand with your feet about hip width distance apart. Gently sway side to side. And then find your stillness here and begin to roll up, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other, coming all the way up till we're standing in our mountain pose. Inhale, sweep your arms up high, mountain pose, clasp your hands together, coming into the Akasha Mudra, point your fingers, point up towards the sky, root through the feet, and then slowly with an exhale, begin to bend over towards the right. Tuck that right shoulder back, left shoulder comes slightly forward, really working into our left side body here. Find that strength and hold. Inhale, come all the way back to center. Reach up towards the sky. And then exhale, bend over towards the left. Let's see, tuck that right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. Lift the chin. A little bit more. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, cactus the arms out. Open your chest, lift your gaze. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, take a dive forward, flat back, forward fold, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, hands can come to shins or thighs, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back into your plank. And then let's hold our plank just for a moment so that we can engage our core. So I want you to draw your shoulder blades apart and then think belly button to spine. So a lot of times people think it needs to be like a board and they drop their hips, but I want you to slightly lift those hips up. That's how we get that core engagement. On your next exhale, let's slowly just drop our hips down towards the mat. Nice and slow. You can untuck your toes, coming into a gentle cobra. So if you need to walk your hands out a little bit to lessen the intensity or bend your elbows just at first, and just hold and breathe. Honoring your body. Great job. And exhale, let's slowly lower our chest all the way down. Bring your feet together like a cobra tail. Hands come off of the mat. Tense your fingers. Elbows out nice and wide like a 90-degree angle. Inhale, lift the chest, baby cobra. Hold and breathe. Heart, lift the chest. Great job. Exhale, slowly fold down, rest your chin just for a moment, keep your hands where they are. Inhale, lift and hold. Find that steadiness. When your mind starts to freak out, just tell yourself it's okay. And exhale, slowly lower and hold. Last one, press into the hands, lift the chest. Hold. And exhale, slowly lower. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, press all the way up into your plank. And then with an exhale, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. Connect to your body, connect back to your breath. Stretch those hamstrings out. On your next inhale, slowly shift your gaze up in between your hands, bend your knees, step, walk, hop, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root through the feet, sweep your arms out towards the side, coming all the way up, high mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, high mountain pose. Akasha Mudra, clasp the hands, reach up towards the sky, and with an exhale, bend over towards the right. See if you can go a smidge deeper than last time. Inhale through center, relax the shoulders. Inhale, reach it up, and then exhale, bend over towards the left. A little bit deeper than last time. Inhale back through center. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the heart. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step, hop or jump back to your plank. Hold the plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, come into your upward facing dog, pressing into the tops of the feet, lift those kneecaps up off of the mat. Exhale, come over the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bring your big toes to touch in the middle, come up on those tippy toes, and then inhale, reach your right leg up towards the sky. Make sure your hips stay nice and square with the mat. We're not going to open our hips up yet. So just reach, 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 reach. On an exhale, bend that knee into center and just hold right in the center, coming into a tiger curl, like knee to nose for 3, 2, 1. Take a giant step forward and then drop the left knee down. Inhale, sweep your arms up, coming into low lunge, Vinyasa. Sink down into the hips, square your shoulders, lift your gaze if you can. And then exhale, sweep the hands down. Begin to straighten that right leg, coming into our half splits. If you need to hop that heel forward to make sure your hips can be square, go ahead and do that. Bending into the knee as much as you need to. And then we'll bring some breath to movement. So inhale, come into your low lunge, sweep your hands up towards the sky. Exhale, hands come down, right leg straightens. Let's do 3, finding your own breath. If you want to just hang out in one or the other, that's okay too. If you're bringing your breath to movement, just really focus on being intentional with your breath, linking each breath with each movement. Last one. And slowly come back into that low lunge. Plant your left hand down underneath your left shoulder. Reach your right hand up and coming into a twist. Open it up. And then with an exhale, we're going to drop that right hand back behind us, kick up those left toes. You can stay right here, or if you'd like to catch those toes with your hand, catch the toes, squeeze the heel into your glute, open the quad, open the shoulder. And exhale, slowly release. Drop that right hand around the right foot. Tuck the left toes, straighten the leg. Give yourself space to draw that right foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Right away, step those big toes to touch. Come up on your tippy toes. Inhale, sweep the left leg up back behind you. Square the hip. So don't open it up towards the side. Keep it down towards the mat. Reach, 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 reach. On your exhale, bend the left knee, round the spine, draw it in, tiger curl, knee to nose. Hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, take a giant step forward and then drop that right knee down. Inhale, inhale, square the hips. Come up into Anjaneyasana, low lunge, sink it down. Maybe feeling this on the right quad. Maybe, that's where I feel it. Hold it here. And exhale, slowly sweep the hands down to the mat. Begin to straighten the left leg, coming into our half splits. Try and drop the chest down, lengthening the spine, stretching into the hamstrings. And we'll begin our breath to movement. So inhale, bend the left knee, sweep the arms up, come into your low lunge. And exhale, hands come down, half splits. Let's do 3 more. Just find your rhythm here. Find your breath. Find what feels good. If you want to hang out in one, that's okay. There's never any judgments. I just always want you to do what feels good for you. Last one here. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, sweep that right hand down, plant it underneath your shoulder. Reach the left hand up towards the sky. Open it up. Exhale, drop the left hand back behind you. Kick up those right toes. You can stay right here if that's enough. Or if you want to make contact, quad or hamstring cramp early in the morning. Hold it here. Find your breath. And then exhale, release, sweep that left hand forward. Plant your hands, tuck the right toes, straighten the right leg, step the left foot back, coming into your plank. And we'll take our vinyasa flow. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Great job. Take 2 breaths here. On your next inhale, sweep that right leg out back behind you. This time, go ahead, open the hips up towards the right side. Bend the right knee back behind you. Go ahead and draw some circles if you need to. Bring some movement into your hip joint. And then slowly bring that right knee. We're gonna rock it forward. See if you can bring it out towards the right tricep. Tap and hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, extend the right leg out back behind you, nice and long. Exhale, bend the knee, draw it forward, step through. Staying high this time, coming up into your high crescent lunge. So make sure that each foot has its own lane. That's gonna help keep you super steady. Square your hips towards the front of the mat, reach your hands up. Sink it down a little lower. Hold and breathe. On your next exhale, we're gonna pivot and plant the left foot, opening the hips up wide, warrior 2. Bend into that right knee, stacking it over the right ankle. Arms come out to a nice strong T. Gaze over your right hand. Find your breath, 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, drop that left hand to the back thigh, reach your right hand up towards the sky. Keep your right knee right where it is, coming into this reverse warrior. Exhale, arms come out to a T. Slowly drop that right forearm down to the right thigh. Left arm comes up and over, extended side angle. You can stay here, but I'm going to challenge you to engage your core, making sure you can lift that arm up off of the thigh. If you want a little more depth, you can reach the right hand down, sinking down into the hips a little lower. 3 breaths. Find your stability. Find your strength. And root through the foot, engage the core. I want you to come all the way up into your reverse warrior. Hold and breathe. On your next inhale, slowly begin to straighten that right leg. Come into a revolved triangle. Take a little side bend here. Feel so nice. That right quad was working hard. Exhale, arms come out to a T. Hinge your torso forward, pivot your arms down, Trikonasana, triangle pose. So your right hand can rest onto that shin. It can come down to the mat. Scoot your hips forward. We have a tendency to stick them out. Bring them forward. Left hand up towards the sky. Great job. On your next exhale, we're going to place our left hand right where our right hand is. So drop it down to the mat. And then slowly begin to take the twist on the other side. So if you need to shorten your stance, I usually do. Coming into a revolved triangle. So reaching the right hand up towards the sky. A little bit more of a shoulder opener, a little bit more of a twist. Great job. On your exhale, we're going to drop the right hand down around the right foot, pivot around on those left toes, and then we're going to propel ourselves forward, coming into our standing splits. So hands come underneath shoulders, lift the left leg all the way up, drop the chest back towards that right thigh. Keep the hips nice and square and lift the leg. Connect to the breath. Challenge yourself. Don't keep this passive, keep this active, keep pushing. 2 more breaths. Then exhale, bend the left knee, come into a deep forward fold. And maybe we want to walk our hands side to side. Just take any sort of movement here if you need to shake out the knees. It's okay. Root through the feet, Inhale, sweep yourself all the way up to high mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Keep the movement going. Inhale, arms come up, high mountain pose. Exhale, take a dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step, hop or jump back to your plank. Take a vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, inhale, sweep that left leg up towards the sky. This time, go ahead, open the hips up towards the left side, bend the left knee. Ooh, feels crunchy. Draw some circles if you need to. Do whatever you need for your body. And then come into the hold, three-legged dog. Inhale, shift that hip back to center, extend the left leg out back behind you. Exhale, bend the knee, draw it out towards your left tricep and hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, extend it out. Exhale, bend the knee, draw it through center, around the spine, step it through. Square your hips, inhale, lift the chest, coming up into your high crescent lunge. Hold and breathe, shoulders down, lift the gaze. And exhale, slowly pivot and plant that left foot, opening the hips up towards the right side, warrior 2. Make sure you have a heel to arch alignment, bend into the knee, press it open. So when you look down, you should just be able to see that left toe. Arms come out to a nice strong T. You can smile, hold and breathe. Inhale, drop the right hand to the back thigh, left hand comes up towards the sky, keeping that left knee right where it is. 3 breaths. On your next exhale, arms come back out to a T. You can drop that left forearm down to the left thigh. Right hand comes up and over. Once again, challenge yourself, try and lift that forearm. Or you can drop the left hand down towards the mat, sink it down a little bit lower. Open the shoulder. Find your breath. Inhale, engage the core, come all the way up. Reverse your warrior, keep your left leg right where it is. I know it burns. Hold. And inhale, straighten that left leg. Ooh la la. Revolve, triangle, reach it back. Exhale, arms come out to a T, hinge your torso forward, pivot your arms down, come into triangle, Trikonasana pose, so your hand can come to your shin. It can come all the way down to the mat. And your knee can be bent too. If we're not quite there yet, that's okay. Reach the right arm up, scooch the hips forward. Find your breath. Find a smile. Learn to love the uncomfortable. I feel like majority of my life, I just live in this uncomfortable state, but I love it because it changes you. On your next exhale, we're gonna drop our right hand down, place it right where the left is. You have to step that back foot forward a little bit. And then slowly reach the left hand up towards the sky. If you can do the gaze shift, looking up at the left hand. Twisted triangle. On your next exhale, we're gonna drop that left hand down, bring it forward to the back of the mat. Oops, I think we should, or maybe you're at the front. Pivot around on the right toes, and then propel yourself up, coming into those standing splits. So hands underneath your shoulders, begin to dip the chest back towards that left thigh. Hips are square, reach the right leg up. Reach it up a little higher. You versus you here, challenge yourself. 3 more breaths. And exhale, slowly release. Bend that right leg down. Hold. Walk your hands side to side if that feels good. Shake your legs out if that feels good. And then come through center, root through the feet, inhale. Come all the way up, high mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do that all again on each side, moving a little bit quicker, but adding in a chair pose too. So inhale, come to the top of your mat. Sweep your hands down, feet are hip width distance apart. Reach your hands up towards the sky. Sink your hips back. Lift your 10 toes. Lift your chest. Find your strength. Dig deep. Good job, everybody. Hold. For 3. Sink it down a little lower. 2. And 1. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step, hop or jump back to your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg up back behind you. And then open the hip up towards the side. Come into three-legged dog, bend the knee. Always get a crunch here. Exhale, draw that right knee forward towards the right tricep. Give it a tap. Inhale, extend it back out. Exhale, bend the knee, draw it through center, knee to nose, and then take a giant step forward. Inhale, come up strong, crescent lunge. Exhale, pivot and plant, open the hips up towards the side, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, hands come back, coming into extended side angle. 2 breaths here so you can settle in. Engage your core. Inhale, come all the way back, reverse warrior. Take a breath. On your next inhale, straighten the right leg, revolve triangle. Exhale, arms come out to a T, come all the way down, coming into Trikonasana triangle pose. On your exhale, drop the left hand, replace where the right is so you can come into a twist, reaching the right hand up. Find your breath. Exhale, slowly release, draw your hands forward and propel yourself up into standing splits. We'll hold this here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Come into a deep forward fold. Inhale, root through the feet. Sweep your arms out to the side. Come all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, sweep the hands down. Come into your chair. Reach the chest up. Lift the 10 toes. We're going to hold this one a little bit longer because it's our last one. Sink it down and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, forward fold. Good job. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step, hop or jump back to your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Right away, inhale, sweep the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hips up towards the side. Take a breath. On your next inhale, draw that left knee towards the left tricep, give it a tap. Inhale, extend the left leg out. Exhale, bend the knee through center, round the spine, step it through. Inhale, come up strong, crescent lunge, hips are square. Exhale, pivot and plant, opening your hips up, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, come into your extended side angle. 2 breaths here, sink it down. All the way back up into a reverse. Take a breath. And then inhale, straighten, coming into revolve triangle. Exhale, arms come out to a T, hinge your torso forward, come all the way down, Trikonasana triangle pose. 2 breaths. Exhale, replace the right, drop the right hand down, replace the left, switch it forward if you need to. Coming into that revolved triangle, or sorry, twisted triangle. 2 breaths. On your next exhale, draw the hands forward, bend into the left knee, spring yourself forward, standing splits. You've got this. 3 breaths, drop your chest. Reach the crown of your head down towards your toes for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Come into a nice deep forward fold. Oh yeah. That was great. Root through the feet. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Ooh, grab a drink of water. We're going to come into our standing postures. So we're balancing poses. Great job, everyone. All right. Let's begin with eagle. Let's begin on the right side. So shift your weight into your right foot. Inhale, sweep your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, as they come down right underneath the left. See if we can do the double bind. You can. Begin to slowly wrap that left leg around the right. If you can hook the toes, hook the toes. Bending into the legs will make that more accessible. If not, it's okay to kickstand. Bring everything back to center. On your inhale, begin to lift the elbows up. On your exhale, begin to sink it down. Find your stability. Find your breath. See if you can lift those elbows up a little higher, sink it down a little lower. And then exhale, slowly release. Good job. Shake it out. And just a reminder, this is practice. Nobody ever shows up to anything good, okay? Let's shift our weight into our left foot. Inhale, sweep your hands up. Exhale, left comes underneath the right. Intertwine the hands, see if you can bring that double bind, palms come to touch. Slowly begin to wrap that right leg around the left. Hook the toes. Bring everything back to center. Inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, sink it down. Let your drishti, find your focus. Lift the elbows a little more. Sink it down a little lower. Exhale, slowly begin to release. Great job. Ooh, shake it all out. Let's actually do this. Interlace your fingers back behind you. Feet are hip width distance apart. Try and reach your hands down towards the floor. Open your chest. Good job. And exhale, slowly release. It feels good after being like this. Okay, let's come into hand to big toe. I'm not going to say it today. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Sorta. Okay. Switch your weight into your left foot. Left hand can come to the hip. That kind of helps me. Begin to lift up your right toes using your yogi peace fingers. Try and grab a hold of that big toe. Start here. This is the base, standing up nice and tall. And then slowly begin to straighten the leg out in front of you. It's okay if your knee has to be bent, if our hamstrings aren't open enough. You can stay here. If you'd like to move out towards the side, Open your arm, give yourself that little balance. Play with this, come in, come out, okay. Let's hold it for 3, 2, 1, release, shake it out. Let's move on to the left side. So come into the right leg, right hand comes to the hip. Yogi peace fingers, begin to bend up that left leg, hook the toes, stand up nice and tall. This is always a different side for me. And I didn't say good or bad, different. Inhale, slowly begin to extend that leg out front, lift the chest. You can stay here or begin to open it up towards the side, releasing the hand. Give yourself some balance. I love it. For 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slowly release. Shake. Let's come into our pigeon pose. Just one last kind of little yin, and then we'll do some groundwork. So coming down to your mat, I don't remember which side was top. Let's just bend, forward fold, walk your hands out into a down dog. And I guess you can come into pigeon however feels good. There's a million ways to cue it. I like to sweep my leg up first. So start with your right side. Exhale, bend the knee, draw it forward, planted beside the right wrist. Extend the left leg out nice and long. Try and bring that left ankle as close as you can so that this leg is parallel. So oftentimes I used to think that this was my knee inhibiting that shin to be parallel, but it's actually your hip. So I've still got tight hips. That's why we're doing this. We're working through it. So start up nice and tall, walk your hands back towards your chest, beginning to let your hips open up. And then as we exhale, we can slowly fold down, coming on to your forearms. You can come all the way down into sleeping pigeon, reaching your hands out in front of you. Just come into towing that line, right? So there's no pain, but it's a little uncomfortable. We're going to be here for about a minute. So settle in, find that steadiness in your mind, steadiness in your body. Unclench your jaw. Don't let that tension move around. Just let it go. Slowly begin to lift your forehead, walk your hands back towards your body. Push your hands down into the mat, tuck those left toes so you can step that right foot back, come into a downward facing dog. Just notice how juicy that right hip feels. So let's bring that to the left side. Inhale, sweep the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the left knee, bring it towards that left wrist. Try and bring your left ankle towards the right wrist as much as possible. And then begin to extend that right leg out back behind you, squaring the hips. I think that's the most important part. Is if you start with the base, so start with the square, and then your body will slowly begin to open. So walk your hands back towards your chest, or your body, I mean. Lift your chest. And then exhale, come down onto your forearms. Remembering we're going to be here for about a minute. So if this is super uncomfortable, I should have said this on the other side. You can put a blanket underneath this hip just to give you a little bit extra support. And let's settle in. Connect to the breath. Let all that tension go. Find your steadiness, even in the stillness. Don't let your mind race. If you're freaking out, come back to the breath. Slowly begin to lift your head. Walk your hands back towards your body. Tuck the right toes, straighten the right leg. Give yourself space to bring that left leg back into your downward facing dog. Whew, feels so good. On your next exhale, go ahead and just drop down to your knees. We're going to come down onto our sits bones. Let's rock back into our boat, doing one last core engagement. So rocking back onto those hips, come into your half boat. You'd like to come into your full boat, come into your full boat. We're going to do a couple lowers and lifts. So exhale, slowly lower. Hover and hold in this hollow body for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift it up and hold. Exhale, lower and hold for 3, 2. I'm totally shaking. It's okay. 1. Inhale, lift it up. Last one. Exhale, lower. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release. Hug both your knees up into your chest. Maybe gently rock side to side. Give yourself a little love here. And come into center. We're going to come into a different variation of a spinal twist. So I want you to extend your legs up. And then we're going to come into eagle legs. So I want you to wrap your right leg around the left. Eagle legs, arms come out to a T, and then gently, slowly let your legs fall over towards the left side. Try and keep both your shoulder blades down on the mat. This is going to be a really good stretch in that outer part of your right hip. If it feels good, you can gaze over that right shoulder, maybe close your eyes. Inhale, slowly engage your core. We're going to lift the legs all the way back up, untwine the legs, and then we'll do the other side. So wrap that left leg around the right, and then slowly guide the legs over towards the right side. Nice and slow. Trying to keep both those shoulder blades down on the mat. If it feels good, you can gaze over towards the left side. Your next inhale, slowly bring those legs back to center. Unintertwine them. Let's come into our happy baby. Extend your feet up towards the sky. Grab a hold of the soles of the feet, draw them nice and wide, and then press down, sinking your sacrum or your low spine down to the earth. Tuck your chin to your chest, nice long spine. And gently rock side to side. Whenever you're ready, bring the soles of your feet to touch and gently release them down, coming into a supine butterfly, supine Baddha Konasana. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath your body. Rest your right hand over your belly, your left hand over your heart. Take a deep inhale, fill up your lungs really, really full. Hold that breath. And exhale, release. Taking a moment here, maybe feel that inner strength, knowing that through this practice today, we really built some stability. And when I feel stable, I can trust myself. I can walk through my life with a little more confidence in my step. And slowly extend your legs out, coming into our final resting pose, Savasana. If it feels good for you to keep your hands on your body, you're more than welcome. Or you can rest your hands down by your side, palms face up. And let's begin to just let go. I want you to squeeze your toes together and then release. Squeeze your calves, your quads, your glutes, your whole leg. Squeeze it nice and tight and release. Engage your core, your stomach, your chest, your shoulders, and then release. Make fists with your hands, squeeze nice and tight, engage your forearms, your biceps, and release. Squish your face together, your nose, your mouth, your eyebrows, and release. Clench your jaw just for a moment and release. Let your tongue peel away from the roof of your mouth. Savasana. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, bring a little movement and life back into your body. Maybe take a big stretch, reaching up overhead, getting nice and long like a kitty cat. Reach through the fingers, reach through the toes. And then slowly roll over onto your left side body this morning. Support your head with your arm or your hands. And let's end this practice with gratitude. Gratitude for your body. Gratitude for making it to your mat today. Gratitude for your practice. And whenever you feel ready, you can gently make your way back to a comfy, easy seat. Trying to keep your eyes closed if you can. And we'll bring our hands to heart center. And just gently press into that sternum, that heart space. Thank you so much for joining me for this morning's practice. The light and the love in me honors and respects the light and the love in each of you. Namaste.